eventually the more you colour in, the more detail, the better the comic strip will look. So here on the layers panel I had the original face that I drew. On top of that you can add more paths. These paths will be like shadows on the face. If you go to your layers panel and scroll down to the very bottom, you'll see the original picture is on the bottom layer. If you untick the actual face, you'll see the picture underneath. So you can look at the picture underneath and then work out which parts need to be darker, which parts need to be lighter. So after actually drawing the nose and the eyes and the eyebrows with the paintbrush, you can then go back to the path tool and start drawing out areas on the face that you want to colour in. For example, this part of the face is slightly darker, so you can click so you see what you're drawing on, or you can also untick on the picture, or you can untick the face. You could then click on the pen tool. You just make sure that you don't draw on the layer that the picture is on. So just make sure you click on path. Then here you have the pen tool. It will draw a gradient colour but with no stroke. So click, move your mouse, click, move your mouse. So I'm going to draw it just a slight area there. At the moment it's not ideal. I can change the gradient colour by dragging the sliders. You can also try a radial fill, or you can just have almost a solid colour. If you don't want a radial fill, you just want a solid colour, you can just click down the bottom there. So then it's a solid fill. I'll go back to linear and just change it so it's slightly darker. If you can't get the result that you're looking for, then just keep dragging the sliders until you're happy with what you've got. So for that one I'll just keep it as a solid fill. So now that path is on top of the face that we drew the outline of earlier. So you can move that about a bit, and like you did before, if you actually click on any of these points, then go to the top, click there, you can also just move these points about a bit if you wanted to resize what you've got. The more detail you add on the face, obviously the more realistic it will be. You can also use the paintbrush to add slightly lighter areas to your comic strip. So here it's got a slightly lighter area, and you can try and make it look more realistic, or you can have a darker area. Left clicking and dragging didn't work. I'm now on the picture layer, so you've got to make sure that you're on the right layer. So you're not on the picture, you're actually on the layers above the picture. So now when I draw that, the pen, then if that effect isn't what you want, then you can just edit and undo, or you can click on it and just change the colour, so you can have no fill on that line you've just drawn, and then just have a solid gradient. So the more you play around, the more detail you'll get. You will get to the point when your comic strip outline is finished, and you'll want to delete the layer below, which is the one you had your picture on. Just make sure you click on the layer that your picture is on, that one, and then press delete and click yes. What you can then do to finish the drawing, you'll get to the stage when your cartoon is drawn and it's finished. If you then, in the layers panel, delete the layer that your picture was on, click yes, you can then draw something else as part of your cartoon. If you make sure that you make a new layer, you can then draw, for example, this will just be a gradient filled box. Because it's on top of the hair and the face, you can just go to layers and then drag it down. So now your rectangle is behind it. You can then obviously click on that and then just put that inside a box. You could, if you have downloaded your fonts from Da Font, is even just add some words on there as well. So if you type some words, you could have some darker words. Okay, just make sure that you click off of the rectangle, click on the text tool, and then just type in the words that you want. So the more detail that you add to your cartoon, the better it will look. Okay, have fun.